20th Century Fox presents Phantom of the Paradise, a gothic horror story.
What was that?
A beautiful love story.
Like a circus.
A cinematic odyssey through the rock universe. From Greece to glitter and beyond. The story of a sound, the man who created it, the girl who sang it, the monster who stole it, and the phantom who haunts the paradise, the ultimate rock palace. Phantom of the Paradise.
My music is for Phoenix. Only she can sing it. Anyone else that tries dies.
Phoenix.
Happy Halloween, Sassy.
Yeah, happy Halloween there, Uday.
All
Hey,
right.
it's not Halloween yet.
It's
but-
getting there. Let's pop it. There, ooh, that's kind of in unison. Awesome. So, week 3 of Halloween with our Phantom theme, and I was waiting so much to see this movie with you, to talk about this movie with you, that I hurried up from work. We just posted the last episode, which was Phantom of the Mall.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, bro, we're gonna watch this one today. We watched Phantom of the Paradise.
So you're a big Paul Williams fan.
No, I wouldn't say I'm a Paul Williams fan. I would say that I'm a fan of Phantom of the Paradise.
Oh, and I seen this once, but like when you mentioned it, I was like, oh shit, this fucking movie. But yeah, no, I'm glad we saw it again. It's,
This is definitely better than the last 2 movies.
Wait, you think this is better than Eric's Revenge?
Yes.
With Pauly Shore.
Yes.
All right, you're right by far. Actually, you know what? I'm. This is like I think the first movie that I'm like this almost shouldn't be here
Yeah.
because it's bad movies. But
Well,
it's still a bad movie.
You know what it is like I always say there's 3 types of bad movies. There's the bad movies that are just like, bad script, bad plot, bad acting, bad, just a lot of things. Then there are the movies that are like so bad it's good. The Room, Troll 2. This is a cult classic. Now, this is one of those so bad it's good movies, but it has a cult to it. There are fans of this movie. They love it, and I am a fan of this movie.
So do you blame the editor? What you're saying is the editor should. What was the editor's name? Ed something, bastard.
I don't blame anybody because I love this movie. I thought it was great. I'm going to quickly, as fast as I can.
So thank the editor.
Yeah, I'm going to quickly, as fast as I can, skim through the plot.
Oh, okay.
Okay? So, okay. It's a mixture of Phantom of the Opera and Faust. The Shut up. So, Winslow Leach is this down-and-out musician. He is approached by this record producer who's pretty much like Dr. Dre. Remember how Dr. Dre was the big deal back in the day, but now he just produces?
Yeah.
That's what Paul Williams' Swan is.
It's a mixture of those and Toxic Adventure.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. You bitter fuck. So Swan basically steals his music, frames him for drug use, and has him sent to prison so that he can butcher his music the way he wants.
Yeah.
So that eventually he can open his big deal theater called the Paradise. He's been waiting for years to open it with the right music. He just doesn't want Winslow on it. Winslow breaks out of prison and is disfigured while destroying a bunch of Swan's records at a record printing press type thing.
Yeah. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, it was. And then from there on, he, as a mongoloid disfigured person, starts phantoming, haunting, whatever you want to call it, his club, the Paradise. And, he blows up the band, the Juicy Fruits / Beach Bums / the Undead.
And then you know what? All these later on, right?
Yeah.
We get these this gum, Juicy Fruit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's Black Swan. I mean, it's pretty evident that it's a dead bird.
There's a sunscreen brand called Beach Bum.
There's a Beach Bum sunscreen. I'm going to say this thing set the trend for a lot of things. Billy Corgan from the singer of Smashing Pumpkins.
Yeah.
Swan.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. His band was called Zwan.
Was it Swan?
Zwan. Yeah.
Oh man. What a Zudo.
But so he gets approached by Swan again to produce for this girl he likes called Phoenix. Again, Swan fucks him over, steals his music, and imprisons him, hoping that he'll just die.
Hey, fool me once.
Yeah, exactly right. But
He deserved the old printing press to the head thing.
he was a bit of a dunderhead. And, he just basically finds out that through it all that, like, Swan is, like, kind of the devil / he just sold his soul to live forever type situation.
Yeah, he thought he was a devil, and then you think that too in the movie. And then you kind of find out that he's not. He just sold his soul to the devil. It's like a hierarchy.
Yeah, and it's on all this whole I'm under contract situation, which, by the way, the contracts in this movie, gotta love them. The freaking War and Peace 500-page long contracts.
Yep, that he didn't even... He's like, I'm going to read this.
And he skims over like 10 pages.
At a time. He's like, oh, no, doesn't look good. All right.
Hey, what does this mean? Maybe it's not a good idea to be asking the guy that wrote the contract.
Yeah. It's not important.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's a trafficking clause or whatever he says.
Yeah. You don't need to worry about that. Just sign it with your blood.
And of course, he finds out that, Swan sold his soul a long time ago. And that's kind of how this works.
For youth.
For youth, yeah. And what's so funny is that in the scene where he's in the bathtub and, like, he's visited by the devil, it's so strange. Maybe it's just the haircut, but Paul Williams looks like 10 times younger in that scene compared to how any other time you see him.
Oh, yeah, it's that haircut. He looks like, if there's no wrestling fans listening to this, I know that. But he totally looks like, that, what's his name? Valentine.
Greg the Hammer.
Yeah, Greg the Hammer, Greg the Hammer Valentine.
Kinda, I guess.
But, like, puny and, like, okay, I guess not like him at all. But he has the same haircut and face and glasses. Same era, I guess, that they were famous.
Yeah, so... How did you first see this movie? What was the first time you saw it?
I think we had it on VHS. We had a bunch of bad ones. I used to have Eric's Revenge on VHS.
Yeah.
I had a bunch of really bad ones on VHS, and then throughout the times, my tweaker older brother had just, like, sold off our movies to the pawn shops. This is, like, back in the days when pawn shops still take VHSs.
Yeah.
So, it was like $1 a movie, so I think those movies...
$1 a movie, wow.
Yeah.
I can't believe we would get that much for a VHS back in the day.
That was back in the day, man.
Shit. I remember I saw this. I didn't like it the first time I saw it. It was on Showtime. And, like, Showtime was the movie channel that just, like, had the worst reputation for entertainment. A lot of their original programming sucked. Do you remember Showtime's original teen show, Crisscross?
No, not with the group Crisscross.
No, it was about these two rich kids named Chris, but one was called Cross, and one was black, one was white, and they went to a prep school.
Oh, God. It's almost like the group.
Yeah, it was really dumb. But, they had no really good original programming, and for some reason, up until, like, maybe 12 years ago, they would just be playing, like, the most randomest, like... I remember they played, like, the Marx Brothers movies in the middle of the day. They had just no real content to show. No,
it just sounds fortunate that, like, for them, that you caught their show at that time.
Yeah, and so I remember seeing this, not middle of the night, just randomly, like 6, 7 o'clock in the evening, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? It's so cheesy.
Yeah, Mom!
What
is this shit?
This is stupid. Then I fast forward to, like, 10, 12 years, and I'm watching it again, and I'm like, oh my God, the music in this is fucking brilliant. The movie is kind of almost secondary to the music, but, like, it's entertaining.
And the movie came after Crisscross the Group. So...
The movie came before Crisscross the Group. I'm talking about Phantom of the Paradise.
Oh, this piece of shit still.
Yeah. Yes.
Is that what we're still talking about?
Crisscross, the TV show, came after the group.
I got excited. I thought we were talking about,
Mac Daddy and Daddy Mac.
Never mind.
No, never mind. But no, yeah, I was just watching. It's just like, what the fuck is as like a 10-year-old. Yeah. I grew up like it's 28. Well, I turned 28 or some whenever I saw this again as an adult. I was like, this is brilliant. It's like the way it's shot is cheesy. There's a lot of stupid cameos. Like for example, I'm not a big fan of the Phantom's outfit, but at the same time, I kind of like it because basically he's just wearing a giant helmet, a motorcycle helmet.
If I were to redo this movie nowadays, I would totally get that big ass, what's his name? from Star Wars, the lanky guy from that piece of shit show Girls. He's
in
like
Star Wars.
it's the whiny ass Kylo Ren.
Oh, Adam Driver.
Yeah, Adam Butt Driver.
Ooh, he would be a good
Phantom.
Phantom.
Yeah. I'd get him.
I would so love to see this movie remade.
Yeah.
Only because it's like I'm a fan of the original, so I want to see how they could revamp it. Because I mean, this isn't a perfect film. There's a couple of continuity problems.
Yeah.
Like there's 2 scenes where you see Paul Williams Swan. He's watching recordings in his like private red room. And at one time he goes into this red room and he's wearing like a light brown suit, and then it cuts to him and he's in a black and red suit, and he comes back out light brown.
Evil powers, man.
Yeah.
Evil powers can do that. That or continuity errors can do that.
Mhm.
Laziness.
Yeah, and there's like scenes where, like the scene, one of the last scenes where Winslow is watching the recording.
Winslow, not the fat cop from Family Matters.
Not Carl Winslow. No.
Oh, okay.
Winslow Leach.
Winslow Leach is
the Phantom.
Oh, the
son.
Phantom. Okay, I forgot that was his name. Winslow.
Should I call him the Phantom to make you
You
feel
just call him
better?
the Phantom.
All
I'm
right.
getting confused for the fat
All
guy.
right.
For a
Okay.
moment. All right.
So the Phantom is watching that video of Swan getting ready to kill himself, and the devil approaches him.
Yeah.
Then out of nowhere, it cuts to Swan and the Phantom signing the contract. Cuts out of nowhere to Swan and Phoenix signing her contract. But I'm just like, well, wait a minute. So is he just like reusing the same film? Like, how is? And then it cuts to him like a live feed of him. Don't forget to kill her when I say this, you know. And it's like, that's a little out of continuity.
Yeah.
So that's kind of fucked. But I mean, again, it's not a bad. This is so bad it's a good movie, and it's just you can't take anything away from it because it's fucking brilliant. And this
You
movie has
think
fans.
Yeah, I mean, if you think this movie is so bad it's good, I got a movie to show you called Kickboxing Up one of these days. One of these days I'll show you that movie.
I'm pretty sure we were in it.
Were we?
I kind of have lost memory of those days too. But so now here's the funny thing. This is kind of the thing that always kind of was made me so curious about the movie. It's Paul Williams. Now, I don't know how much you know about Paul Williams, but that guy, like,
Well, I grew up my mom listening to him, being into all that shit. So
Yeah.
I'm not on his jock or anything, but I know of him and
Yeah.
about him. But
so I remember I saw him. His filmography is not very good. Like where he acted.
yeah,
I only remember him in 3 other movies.
by all means.
So his filmography is not what we could say is epic. It's pretty bland. He does a lot of voiceovers because he's a very well-known voice. He did the Penguin in the Batman animated series.
Ah,
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. Which is also ironic because I remember thinking the Phantom in this movie looks a lot like Tim Burton's Penguin. Black lipstick, the teeth and the gums are black, and he has that beak, and he does this roar thing at the glass ceiling before he tries to kill himself and can't. But he does that at the glass ceiling, and it's like, wow, it's just like the Penguin when he gets angry at Batman.
It's not bad. The first movie I remember seeing him in, he's only like physically in it for like 2 seconds. There's a movie called Frog. Did you ever see that? It's basically the story of the Frog Prince.
Yeah.
Set in modern day 1987, where he does all these voiceovers of a frog that talks to this one kid, the kid from Critters.
Maybe I have seen it then.
Yeah, and there's a sequel where it's pretty much he goes back to wanting to be a frog, and then he wants to go back to being a person. That's basically it. And then I remember seeing...
Sounds like a frog can't make up its mind.
Yeah. And then he was in the only movie that I ever saw where he had like an actual character was no, that's not true, not that. But the one that I remember the most is a movie probably nobody's ever seen called A Million to One. Ever heard of it?
Sounds horrible.
It's a Paul. Remember Paul Rodriguez?
Yes, I do.
So Paul Rodriguez is this down and out Mexican living in California. Like
He still is.
yeah, I know.
No, his son's doing pretty well.
He's got a terrible job. His citizenship is in question, but the character is meant to actually be an legal citizen.
Oh, okay.
And then randomly he's given this check for $1 million, but he never cashes it because he doesn't have a bank account. But everybody around him treats him like, ooh, he's special, and they give him credit basically.
Yeah.
And Paul Williams plays like the asshole landlord who helps like get him. He's one of the bad guys, just one of the bad guys.
Yeah.
And the movie's not too bad, but like his character is just so cheesy.
I know I've seen other dog shit with Paul Williams in it, man. I've seen so many guys.
When I was looking this up, I totally forgot he was in Baby Driver.
Oh god, that fucking the last Kevin Spacey movie.
Yeah, the last Kevin Spacey movie. But anyway, when I asked my mom as a little kid about Paul Williams, she kind of described him as almost being like this one-hit wonder type thing, where he just showed up. He had one good song, but I guess he never
wasn't a sex symbol to your mom.
No. By the time the mid '70s happened, she had kind of like really dug into like everything else.
Well, your mom has better taste in men than mine, because my mom was like, "Oh, that fucking Paul Williams." My mom loved these weird little British men.
He wasn't British.
He's not.
No,
Why does he sound like this?
He just has a very curious voice. You know, it's not like everybody else.
He's from Jersey, then.
You want me to look up where he's from?
Yeah, I would love that, to find out why he talks like an asshole.
All right, I will look up where Paul Williams is from.
Born in Pseudosville, Iowa.
Oh, it doesn't say on his IMDb. Well, I'm not going to look it up.
There you go.
Okay.
From the unknown.
Yeah.
That's why he talks
so like
that.
the way my mom talked about him is that... Start that over. So the way my mom talked about him is that he had like one song, and then he was kind of like here and there in the 70s, and that was basically it. And now I remember looking back, like I remember seeing him on this special that the Disney Channel did back in the 70s, where he talked about how he auditioned for the Mickey Mouse Club in the 70s and he didn't get it. And he really was kind of like here or there in the 70s as far as like in person. Musically, that motherfucker was everywhere. This guy wrote Rainbow Connection.
That's pretty badass.
Yeah, probably one of the greatest Muppet songs ever. He wrote it.
And for... You might as well just say that's the greatest Muppet song, because for Muppet songs, I can only, you know what I mean? I mean, when we're getting into the Muppet genre, I dare anybody go right now, go on 8 tracks and type in Muppet and watch. There's fucking, me and Jesse did this back when we were building the wall in his backyard, because a whole bunch of Mexicans lived on the other side. Just kidding.
Goodness.
JK. But yeah, we were building the wall, and so yeah. That happened, and so yeah, we go on 8 tracks and fucking we type in Muppet list, and holy shit, Muppet fans are everywhere, dude.
Oh yeah,
and that's like the number one song came up, and we heard different different
versions of Rainbow Connection.
Yes, because on 8 tracks you hear it's not just shout out to 8 tracks if you want to promote us. No,
Wink.
just kidding. But seriously, consider us. Yeah. No, but people will put on their fan-made versions of songs. So that's a cool thing about 8 tracks. I didn't realize that before.
I remember he was in the Muppet movie for 5 seconds where he's playing a piano, smoking a cigar. But so like you can't. I'm not gonna like say you can't knock him down, because he wrote a bunch of other songs, and then not only did he write he wrote all the songs for Phantom of the Paradise. He wrote, he produced the latest Daft Punk album that got all the Grammys. And he won a Grammy for Best Producer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he went up there and he's like, you'd have told me 20 years from now I was going to be working with 2 robots. But in his voice.
Yeah.
So, like, dude, and then, like, okay, so, like...
Same hair?
Yeah, pretty much.
What an asshole.
Fuck off. But here's something, this story warmed my heart. If it's true, and I want to believe it's true, because if the person told me was lying, she lied for no credit.
That's a lot of people, but yeah.
Yeah, it could be, but let's just pray, because nothing, or let's just hope, because that doesn't cost us anything.
Yeah, I'm just kidding.
So I joined this group, Phantom of the Paradise. Phantom of the Paradise fan club.
They just accept you, or do you have to like pass some kind of test? I want to join.
I think they just accepted me.
They didn't ask you like 20 Phantom of the Paradise questions?
No, they definitely
Before ye enter, what is the second lyric of the Paul Williams song? Like, that's what I would have done.
What is Winslow's last name?
How did he die?
What is Philbin's last name? Trick question. He doesn't have one.
Ooh.
Well, I know I joined this group because I thought it'd be cool. Nobody really posted it though, but it's still like it's really nice. I posted this question like 3 months ago. How did you guys find out about this film? And like maybe once a week, I still get a ding response that someone's replied to it.
Yeah.
One of the first ones though was from this woman, and she said that how she found out about it. But then she went into this whole other thing that I sent Paul Williams a fan letter, and I told him how that I'm trying to stay sober because I've had such a rough time and this and that.
And then he sent back, "Please send nudes." Paul Williams, you scum. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Paul Williams called her.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wait, so she put her number too? That's cool.
Well, no,
And
she
was one of
she said that first she just sent him a message, but then in the message when he replied,
Yeah.
he actually gave her a phone number, and she called,
Oh.
and he answered, and then to go on top of that, she says in her message that at least once a week she hears from him
What?
to make sure she's not off the wagon.
Wow.
Yeah.
If that's a true story, then I deserve to get hit by a car for shitting on Paul Williams.
You should, yeah.
Not
Paul Williams. Paul Williams isn't like the most awesomest of like pop stars of the '70s, but fucker wrote some really good music, no matter what.
Rainbow Connection. Yeah.
Sing it, come on, sing it,
No.
sing it, whore.
No.
Why are there so many songs about rainbows? And what's on the other side?
I demand money.
So, I mean, would you recommend this movie?
I would totally recommend this movie. I also love the Illuminati aspect. There's the checkered floor. There's the
For
red
everybody listening, Dick Sassier is a conspiracy theorist.
conspiracy. I could prove these things.
All right, he can prove these things. Now you may continue.
Look, Mulder wasn't the popular one for no reason. You want to know why? Mulder just spoke what Scully couldn't just come out and be like, you know what? You're probably right. It always had to be proven. And it's like, did you really have to be abducted by aliens before that happened, Scully? No. So before you get abducted, Joe, let me peek
Did you
on
get your
some of them.
second?
I did, but I got poked in the kidneys and Kayla took it from me and beat me.
Okay.
So yeah. No, I totally
We'll
would.
split this one then.
Cool. I totally think that people should see this movie. On the opposite side of just thinking that they're all devil worshippers. I'm not saying that they're all saying. I'm saying I think there's soft disclosure. There's cool things. Maybe the person who was into the art knew some shit. Because there's a lot of red on black. There's the Bye Bye Blackbird, the death records, which which is
a dead swan or
which is
our dead bird.
Well, not just that, but it's like Death Row Records. I feel stole from this. I feel a lot of people probably like this movie as a cult classic, and they stole and never gave this movie credit. I when I saw this movie, I couldn't help but feel like, wow, I've seen so many bits and pieces of this movie and other things. I feel like a lot of people stole from this movie, and this movie will never get the credit it deserves. That's how I felt.
I think so.
I've seen it once as a kid, and now that I see it as an much older person, like 20 years later now that I'm watching it with you, it's like, wow, man. Like, you could see the way people fucking film.
Yeah.
There's absolutely no appreciation for it. It's like they steal what they want, and then it's like, oh, that was my original idea. No nod, no tip of the hat to the actual movie or idea or creator it came from.
I can't confirm or deny that, but
Long story short, yes, I would refer this movie to somebody else.
I would too. See, my thing is that it always kind of felt funny is that it felt like somebody saw a Rocky Horror Picture Show and wanted their own version of it.
Yeah.
Am I wrong for thinking that?
No, you're totally not. I do, and now that you put it like that, yeah, it's kind of how it is. I also feel like the guy who played Winslow, the Phantom, was also he looked an awful lot like the mother from I, Tonya
and Mothers
and all those good things. Now, was she also in anyways, not she, didn't matter. Anyways, he looks like her, She was also in 10 Things I Hate About You as a principal.
Yep, I don't remember who it is.
He looks an awful lot like her. I wouldn't be surprised if when they say he died, he just had the sex change and became her. That's how Hollywood does things, man.
Yeah. I would definitely recommend this movie. There are just so many elements about it that are so fun. What's so funny is that, who directed this was Brian De Palma. Untouchables, Scarface, Body Doubles, Body Heat, all these really cool movies. And then there's this, and this isn't like Carlito's Way, the first Mission Impossible, Snake Eyes, Mission to Mars.
Not the second Carlito's Way. The original, right?
The 1993 one.
Yep.
Raising Cain, that weird John Lithgow multiple personality movie. I don't know if you ever saw that.
Maybe I have. I've seen John Lithgow play a crazy guy before, so yeah, probably.
He's done a few. But
Harry and the Hendersons, the name of Cliffhanger.
Cliffhanger sucked. I don't know why people thought that was cool.
Because the fucking raccoon died. Oh, wait, that's Ace Ventura.
That's Ace Ventura, a much better movie. Do you have a favorite song?
Pure Imagination.
I meant from the movie.
Oh, from the movie. Probably the one that Beef was singing. And you know what's funny?
Bones it, bam.
I get I liked the country guy singing it the best. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, yeah.
He did, he had a good version.
Work it.
And then he...
To work it out, I let them in. All the good guys and the bad guys that I've been.
And then he was like, pretty, but no. And then he hears Beef, and he's like, oh, that's nice and shitty. I'm picking you.
And Beef is essentially like the 70s version of Marilyn Manson.
Yeah, he is.
I remember they open the coffin, they're all, oh!
He's wearing stilettos.
He's got glitter in his hair.
And he came to rock.
Mm-hmm.
But not your socks off. Just, for his, he came to do drugs and drink, basically, for free.
Yeah, and I love that guy. I remember seeing an interview. So do you know that guy that played Beef was actually supposed to be Swan?
Oh, shit.
Yeah, Paul Williams is actually only going to do the music. But the producers just kind of pushed that you should be Swan. And in a way I can kind of see that because Paul Williams, he's like 5'0" or 5'1", something like that.
Yeah, he's small.
Yeah, he's short. And they make references to him being a giant. They always say, you see Swan up there.
Yeah.
Beef calls him Goliath. And I think that there's all these references to make it that, he's a short guy, but he is this big personality.
Even the first shot you see, his goon is looking up at him from a first person.
Mm-hmm.
And the first time we were introduced to the character, it's actually Swan's point of view.
Yeah.
Looking at his goon.
Mm.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
It's always seen as from a top point of view, yeah.
And then, God love him, there was I just found this on YouTube randomly. All the actors got together for a reunion, and the Undead / Beach Bums / Juicy Fruits, they did their song. Well, I guess the guy sang, and the two other were just behind. Remember when they do the...
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, when they do the Super Like You just before Beef shows up. So it was the guy singing, and it's just the other two kind of behind him, and they're, moving randomly on stage. And then they bring out Beef. They bring out a coffin.
Oh, okay.
And it's be like, oh, Beef's in the coffin. And they open it. Beef's not there. And then the actor that's Beef comes out and goes, life at last.
Oh,
Crowd loses it. And
wow.
you know that he wanted to actually just go right into the song, but the crowd was losing their mind. They're chanting, Beef, Beef, Beef. So he kind of returns to the character of Beef, and he acts a little feminine.
Okay.
And he's checking his eyebrows.
Yeah.
And then the song plays, and he goes on. That crowd was losing it.
Yeah, that sounds pretty badass.
I loved it. I'm gonna find maybe a little audio clip of it.
Yeah, no, I do love that. I love the sound of that. That sounds pretty badass.
Yeah. Oof.
We should add that into this.
What?
This thing we're doing where we usually shit on movies. But for some reason, this movie is so... Again, it went back around from being bad to good bad, which none of the other movies on our list have done that. We've only... In fact, this is the only movie we've taken time to compliment.
What about the John Carpenter one?
We complimented John Carpenter twice, but for the most part,
the
movie was a failure.
Yeah.
Christopher Reeves did his job.
Yeah.
No one else did their job in that movie. And in this movie, I can only almost compliment.
Yeah.
I can name a few mistakes, but...
The only other movie we've complimented so far would probably be Encino Man. But that's because it's that's a classic.
That was because of Pauly Shore and the fact that he led everybody in acting. Guys, follow my lead. And they all started wheezing the juice, and we all lived happily ever after.
I was editing the episode for Phantom of the Mall, and I had to like find that clip of him. I don't know if you heard the episode. I found the clip where he like where they meet him, Buzz.
Yeah.
And he's like, I promise not to spit in your yogurt.
Oh yeah.
And I'm just like, I was watching this, looking for. I'm just like, fuck, this shit.
Mm-hmm.
It was so dumb.
Oh, have you done that to all of the things we posted? On Instagram, I mean.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, where I made audio clips.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I did that part though.
Too bad, not yet.
Yeah.
But hopefully enough of these people listen. And if not, we'll track them down in their homes. And, what's the point of listening if you're not going to share it?
And well, I hope because I'm going to post this in the Phantom Club that they like it and comment. And hope you listen to the whole thing because we're not shitting on Paul Williams or the movie. We are just pointing out some funny things and a few small critiques.
A few critiques, like maybe the haircut I would have changed on old Paul Williams there.
Or Phoenix clucking.
Yes. Fucking her clucking was pretty funny, I gotta say.
Yeah. The only reason I make fun of that is because, again, where I found the...
she didn't know what the fuck to do.
I found the video of them at a convention, and they had a panel.
Yeah. And
she was on the panel, and then they go...
With the heroin needle in her arm. No.
They bring her up, and she legit starts clucking. Because that's what she was known for. Yeah. It was like, hey, she knows what's going on.
That's pretty funny. She does. That means she watched the same thing and goes, what the fuck was I doing? Yeah. That's good.
She went on to be in Shock Treatment, which was the kind of default sequel to...
Don't Eat Feces?
No.
Oh.
Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say that.
She played Janet. Yeah.
Oh, I need to see that again.
You've never seen Shock Treatment, have you?
Yeah, yeah. In fact, I used to live in the part of San Dimas where it was... This is fucking horrible. I don't like admitting this, but I saw Operation Dumbo Drop in theaters. You don't tell anybody.
Oh, okay.
You edited out of this. But
wait a minute, wait. Go on.
But there was a place in San Dimas that showed these places, and that same theater, actually, this is in Laverne. The theater was in Laverne. It was like it was a block away from this ice cream place that
Go for it, yeah.
My wife Kayla's grandma loved going to. It was like a block away from there. There's a little theater, and they every Saturday at midnight they would have fan appreciation night for Rocky Horror Picture Show and the fucking Shock Treatment. And Shock Treatment was Sunday, and people would come in and dress up as the characters and reenact the whole thing. And my mom was doing different drugs back then. And, drug-addled parents feel guilty when they're not there for their kids every now and again. So when they come out of their addleness, they want to do something for their kids. And they're like, hey, what do you want to do? And I was like, hey, I want to go see Rocky Horror Picture Show at 12 midnight. And it was like, I did not know what the fuck I was in for. I just, you know what I mean? My mom was like, all right. My mom was like, oh, it's going to be cool. She's like, oh, it's going to be fun. You're going to see people are going to dress up. You're not going to be ready for it. But people are going to start singing and looking over at you and trying to get you into it. I'm like, oh, okay, that sounds fun. Oh, my God. Oh, my fucking goodness. An 11-year-old should not be at a Rocky Horror Picture screening at 12 midnight.
No, they shouldn't.
Oh, my God. It was a freak party. And my mom, because she was on drugs, was like, right? Good camaraderie, right? Oh, God. No. And you know what? I learned my lesson. So if my kid ever asked me that, I'd be like, you watch your fucking mouth. It's the devil.
So she's in Phantom of the Paradise, and then she's in the sequel to Rocky Horror. She was also in Suspiria, which is like this really cool Italian slasher movie. She was in a lot of smaller stuff, but she was also the last one that like was her big name was she was in. I'll stop clicking the pen. Was Minority Report.
That's what I thought she was in. It's funny.
She was. Yeah, she was the mother to one of the precogs. That's what they called them.
Yeah.
And so she kept seeing the memory. The precog female kept seeing the memory of her mother die.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh, that's just some weird glitch." She keeps thinking down for whatever reason.
Yeah.
But that was supposed to be her mother. So.
Yeah. Jeez, man.
I'm
going to go to hell for that one.
I hope so.
Satan.
I really hope so.
I'm sorry.
It's too late.
Oh, well, there you go. Cheers, Satan.
Yeah.
You imagine if you ever go to hell, Satan's going to be like, remember beer and bad movies? I'm like, yes. He's like, well, we love it down here, and we wish...
You just can't see the likes from the other side.
That's what I think. Hey, we have movies for you that never even got a green light on being a B movie. I'm like, that's hell. That's hell.
Man, wait till we actually have to watch Weekend at Bernie's 2.
Oh.
That's gonna be gold.
They're like, how long does rigor mortis last? Well, how many movies are you asking? Or yeah, illegal time is what we're talking about.
Fake time, that's what we're talking about, buddy.
Are we encouraging this at this point?
There's necrophilia in that movie, the first one.
Oh, wow.
Fucking forgot. Dude.
That movie inspired me to be like, if my mom ever dies, I'm going to weaken and Birdie hers for the Social Security check.
Holy shit. Holy shit.
Edit that out. Just kidding.
Out of curiosity, did your mom listen to us?
No.
Okay.
She listened to the first one and cut us off because she can't relate.
Okay, good.
She's like stuck behind in Charlton Heston times.
Yeah.
You know?
I guess we'll have to watch the Planet of the Apes remake from... Anyways, yeah, the one with Marky Mark.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. So, final thoughts on Phantom of the Paradise. Go.
Oh, man, we really didn't even cut into it, but I guess the final thoughts. Fuck, I don't know. I wish that they had spent, if they're gonna, because they spent a lot of time on music.
Yeah.
On there, but that was because of the Paul Williams.
Mm.
I wish that there was a part 2, and it would
and
there would be John Williams versus Paul Williams. And it's 2 phantoms. It would be him versus Eric. You know what I mean?
Oh my god.
Because what they would do is they would open a mall where they would release shitty pop stars, and it'd be like a bunch of phantoms going at it. Phantom from the fucking... Maybe it's I think I'm just hoping that every...
Kiss Now, they're fighting them.
Every shitty review we've done, they all fight.
Oh my
And
goodness.
you and me will just be there like those 2 old fucking Muppets commentating.
This is damn good.
Yeah.
Damn terrible. Yeah.
Is that kiss? More like piss. Yeah.
That was a good one. That was a good one. Mm. So I just looked this up. The budget for Phantom of the Paradise, $1.3 million.
Wow.
Now, that had to have at least made its money back, even in the 70s.
Oh, yeah, completely. The 70s, man, they were selling style, music, everything.
Well, see, you know what's funny about the 70s is that it wasn't even until, like, maybe the mid-80s that movies actually got advertised and released on a... hold on. On a national level. A lot of movies were kind of more like regional or selective theaters. You seen Bad Boys 2? No, you ain't seen Bad Boys 2.
Mm-hmm.
It was that kind of thing where, like, you really didn't see a movie unless you went to the theater all the time.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Hence, where the saying theater hopping came from is because we didn't go there back in the day. You too. A lot of us, especially our generation, and any generation ahead of us, mainly does not know what theater hopping is because they changed it shortly after our generation was still in the middle of doing it.
Yeah.
And they would change the time schedule to be no longer, here's the movie and the times. They changed it to just the movie title. And the times were left up to if you only bought a ticket, you knew what time your movie was showing. Yeah. So theater hoppers, you knew you can go from like Star Wars Episode 1 to Saving Private Ryan.
Those are titles in our time, but like back then, you couldn't know that.
No, totally not.
I'll say this. Okay, so back in the day where we live in San Bernardino, California, in the area of San Bernardino, there used to be legit 6 theaters that you could drive to.
Yeah.
They're pretty much all gone except for like 2 right now. But I remember Mortal Kombat. When Mortal Kombat came out, we went to Sterling Cinemas to go see that. We get there, it's sold out. You know what we did? We went to the Del Rosa 8, which is literally barely a mile down the road.
Yeah.
And that's where we saw that. You couldn't do that then.
No.
There was only like certain movies were in certain theaters.
The Rialto. I remember I don't know. I mean,
I remember the Rialto.
Yeah. That was actually an original one for like people our mom's age.
Yeah.
And their generation.
I remember there was one off of Washington and Colton. There was one actually in the ass end of the Inland Center parking lot.
Yes.
So, but there, that's kind of that really kind of saddens me that it's not like that anymore. I mean, like
a lot of people got afraid. Like drive-throughs aren't popular anymore because of muggings and robberies and petty things like rape and murder.
Yeah. I never really saw the appeal of the drive-through unless you're trying to get some ass. But I mean, But that's probably why this movie is more.
You get that good car stereo sound in your movies.
That's probably why this movie was such a cult classic, because it didn't go everywhere. Even Rocky Horror didn't go everywhere. Rocky Horror, for the most part, stayed on the East Coast and slowly made its way west.
Oh.
That's why,
just like Tim Curry.
Ooh. But I mean, I like this movie. I love the music. I love the wardrobe. It's really cool.
Yeah, the leather. The stinky tight leather.
The stinky tight leather with the motorcycle helmet.
Yeah. Or was it pleather? Do you think it was leather or pleather back then?
I don't think they had pleather back then.
Maybe you're right. Maybe it was like a wrestling thing that came around.
I think pleather came around the late 80s. Because I remember never seeing anybody in pleather until like 93. That's when I was like 10 years old.
Yeah.
And you would see them in these jackets that look like leather but not as cool or not as plush.
Yeah. Plus Winslow did look very uncomfortable in that, so it probably was leather.
Yeah, there are funny things about Winslow that I always remember, like when he says Phoenix as the Phantom, and when Paul Williams is messing with that voice box thing, he's like, try again. He goes Phoenix, and you can see these bubbles in his mouth, and I'm just kind of like, ooh.
No, that's him adding on to the character a little
Oh
bit.
Yeah. I'm not shaming it. It's just kind of like, ooh, it sticks in my head.
Yeah.
But yeah, my favorite song would definitely be Life at Last by Beef. My least favorite is probably I don't even remember the name of the song. It is the one to work it out. I let them in. It's called the Phantom Theme.
Oh, okay.
It's the one where he's playing. He lit the match and the candle.
Yeah,
and they kind of pass.
Yeah, I seen it. Yeah,
our love passes. Is an old love. And I'm like, this is just slow and kind of brings it down.
Now I wish I can give you the old 10 movie challenge, but there's not anybody in this movie who went on to do enough career, so where we can't even do that.
By the way, I found out we messed up in the Pauly Shore one.
Oh, did we?
Yeah, I said in the Army twice.
Oh, so you have to make up for that.
How can you find another one?
What else did Pauly Shore do?
We kind of named everything.
I think you're right. He never did a guest spot in anything.
Born in 68. Okay, he's acted in 64 things, so.
Shit. He doesn't deserve it.
Alright, hold on. Phantom of the Mall, that's where he at. Okay, Encino Man, Class Act, Son-in-Law, In the Army, Jury Duty,
said all
Big
those.
Goofy Movie, Biodome.
All those, we said those. Those are all in the everything you said. You said all those so far.
Yeah.
Except you said In the Army now twice. So what other piece of shit could he have possibly been that anybody could name? I mean,
The Wash, that weird car wash movie with Dr. Dre and.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Pauly Shore's dead.
Oh, okay, but that's not true. So that's bullshit. And I seen that, and that was a work too. That whole movie was a work.
All right. So we found the 10th Pauly Shore movie, but who gives a fuck? It's that Bucky Larson.
It turns out we wasted our time, and me and Joe are now going to spend an extra 1,000 years in hell for trying that.
Really? 1,000?
It's 1,000 for looking at anything Pauly Shore.
Oh my goodness.
Anybody, I'm sorry, just don't Google or DuckDuckGo or Bing anything Pauly Shore. Stay away from anything Shore, Pauly.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, stay away from bad movies because we'll take care of them, even though this one wasn't a bad movie.
Nope.
All right, Rich. To your health.
Cheers, fuckers.